I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, succubus with goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. Dump it. Charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop and blood on it, especially up to his ankles. Trump charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop. Goblin vomit and slop. I'm not expecting him to not get dirty slop. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, succubus with goblins, in bed with a goblin. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin.
Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. We are once again going down the crazy rabbit hole of Simon Parkes. For those unaware, at one time Simon Parkes was running around on the scene telling stories about having alien parents and banging alien girls, specifically an alien cat queen. Later, he decided that he was an expert on geopolitics, specifically United States politics, the Donald Trump movement, and more. This is the crazy world of the 17th letter of the alphabet conspiracy, where people were so wanted these drops to be real that they were willing to accept a spokesperson in the form of Simon Parkes, a guy who used to talk about banging aliens before he talked about this. So the election happened, Trump lost, and all of the letter of the alphabet conspiracy theorists started scrambling for a way to preserve their money train that they had been riding for 2 years, talking about this garbage conspiracy theory. Simon Parkes, Robert David Steele, and others played kick the can. They decided that on March 4th, Donald Trump would be the president again. That date came and went, and nothing happened. And now we get to listen to this idiot, Simon Parks, explain why nothing happened. Oh, but things did happen. No, they didn't. So we have a video to share of Mr. Parks trying to explain to all of his followers why nothing happened on March 4th. And I love that right at the beginning of the video, he basically says that he wasn't hyping that date. He didn't want to get people's hopes up. Yeah, he did. He did. Since January, he was hyping that date. Right? Trying to preserve that gravy train. Get that money going still. Yes, Jacera Boy, Charlie Ward. These are the other idiots that were pushing that conspiracy train right off the cliff. So we're going to put up our fair use banner. And this is what we do here is often fair use. That is, we will be, this is a transformative work. We're going to be educating the public about idiot Simon Parks, you know, the cat queen banger, and also letter of the alphabet conspiracy expert, right? And this is covered under fair use and is allowable by law because we're going to be critiquing it and discussing it as we share it. This is, of course, a transformative work. This is fair use. So, friends, we're going to get right into this today. It's not a very long video, so I think we should be able to cover it here. And this is Simon Parks' March 4th update. And I can't believe the balls on this guy. After pushing this letter of the alphabet conspiracy train off the tracks, right? And getting an extra couple of months to grift and collect more money for his garbage information. Then March 4th comes, nothing happens, and we're going to listen in on his explanation of what happened, right? Amazing. This is amazing, friends. So we're going to cite fair use, and we're going to be sharing this Simon Parks March 4th video. Great. Here we are. And look at the production quality on this guy, man. It looks like he's got like Paint Shop Pro from Windows 3.1 days. What high quality videos he produces. Amazing.
Hello, welcome to an update. It's the 4th, and I know that for a lot of people there's been a great deal of talk how important the 4th was. I certainly didn't get involved in that because
dummy.
The 4th was never going to be an important date in terms of what we would expect regarding President Trump or any of the other issues. The 4th was an important date for other things to happen behind the scenes, which had to occur for it to move forward. So don't please expect anything on the 4th. That's why I didn't do anything about it. And I wasn't going to get on the bandwagon. And
he wasn't going to get on the bandwagon. He's been on the bandwagon making videos about what's going to happen on March 4th since January, you liar. You made videos with Robert David Steele, with Sasha Stone. Let's see, who else? Charlie Ward and others promising that Donald Trump will be president on March 4th. Did you forget about that? Maybe he got amnesia from fucking all those aliens, right? Maybe after they fuck him, they mind wipe him, and he forgot that he's been talking about Donald Trump becoming president again on March 4th since January with all his idiot letter of the alphabet friends. Amazing that he's going to claim now he didn't want to hype it up, right? And this is March 5th. Don't expect anything on March 4th. And he makes this update. Wait, I got to check. I really have to check. I think he made the video on the 4th. And then he's telling people, really, don't expect anything on the 4th. He makes the video late in the day, right? And then in the video, he's going to say, don't expect anything to happen today, right? Wow, this is weird. Now I'm trying to find the video, which we have here, and it's not on his channel. Did he unlist it? 1 second, friends. Just bear with me one moment. Yeah, I mean, this premiered on March 5th. So on March 5th, he's going to tell us, don't expect anything to happen on March 4th, right? And a quick look of Simon Parks' videos, it looks like he unlisted this video. So it's great that I got the link to it, right? And this is a game that many of these grifters, these letter of the alphabet grifters, are playing right now. They are deleting all the shit smack they talked about the letter of the alphabet and what was going to happen. Because now they look like assholes. And they are. Yeah, he unlisted this video. His latest video is now January 16th update, posted 1 month ago. Unless I'm wrong. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like he unlisted this video, but it's still there. I should have grabbed it, right? I should have downloaded the video, but it's playing for now. I don't know how long it's going to play. We'll try to continue here, friends.
Raise people's spirits up or hopes up, just to be dashed. Where if I would know that there wasn't anything really big supposed to happen. However, we have got.
Yeah, he's saying he knew nothing really big was supposed to happen on March 4th. He's been talking about March 4th since January with Sasha Stone, with Robert David Steele, right? With others, with Charlie Ward. For months, every single day, they were talking about March 4th. Now, all of a sudden, I never said anything big was going to happen on March 4th. What a fucking liar this guy is.
I've got some news which we can share. So first of all, let's just have a quick look back. Interestingly enough, we've got 17 of the US states that are now not requiring mask wearing.
I fact-checked that, and that is incorrect. There are not 17 states that are not requiring masks. I believe, I did not make notes, but I'm sure that I fact-checked this. There are four states that do not require masks currently in the United States. But he has to say 17. Why? Because the 17th letter of the alphabet, right? You need to have some kind of dots, right, to connect. Even when there aren't any. No, you idiot. You're complete and totally wrong. You're sitting here spouting a complete and total fabricated lie. There are not 17 states in the United States that do not require masks. There are 4.
And are opening up their shops. So all those people who had a real problem with the Q aspect, you really should know that number 7.
And by the way, AI algorithm gods, he said that letter, not me, and we're making fun of him for being so wrong, so stupid, for pushing that conspiracy theory. We are not in support of it. Please do not strike us down, AI algorithm gods. We are making fun of this clown who fucks cat queen aliens in his spare time. Thank you. Oh, great and powerful AI algorithm gods. He may say that letter again. Please accept our prayer and our apologies for this idiot saying that letter.
17 is a very important number, and it's no coincidence that 17 of the US states have gone down that road. Also, Switzerland, President...
It's no coincidence that 17 of those US states have gone down that road. Except they haven't, and he's completely and totally wrong. Simon Parks, you're wrong. Some expert on American politics. Dude, all you have to do is Google it, you dumbass. Did you think maybe I should Google this before I say it? Or did you just hear it from one of your other letter of the alphabet idiot friends like Charlie Ward? I swear they use each other as sources. Well, an intelligence source told me that 17 states are going to be dropping the mask mandate next week. That's where he got this information from. He didn't even bother to Google it or check it.
Trump did, in fact, go to Switzerland, and there's a bit of an issue because some of the videos that are posted were indeed previous visits, and I think those videos tend to show Marine One. The information I received is that he flew in to Bern on Air Force One.
All right, I have to stop him right here. So he says in the last few days, and this is March 5th, he's saying this, Donald Trump flew to Switzerland on Air Force One. Well, I wasn't quite sure how to fact check this. So I reached out to a few friends and somebody said, everybody famous has got a publicist. Contact their publicist and ask the question. It took several days for them to get back to me, but the publicist got back to me and stated in email, Donald Trump has not been to Switzerland recently. Not at all. And certainly has not been flying on Air Force One since leaving office. That's the actual truth. But here, let's hear this bullshit that Simon Parks. He makes this job easy. All you gotta do is make a few phone calls, send a few emails, and you can prove everything coming out of this guy's mouth is a fucking lie. But, like, it's so funny. Like, you would think that people would hear that he used to talk about fucking cat queen aliens and realize that everything coming out of his mouth is a lie. But somebody like me still has to prove it. So, okay, we've got on the record sourcing that denies this entire story he's telling here about Donald Trump flying on Air Force One or visiting Switzerland recently.
And I presume he traveled by car once he was there. So there are some videos which I've been shown, and I think they're probably related to a previous visit. So the information I have is he did visit a couple of days back, and he did go in on Air Force One. You certainly wouldn't fly from Florida to Switzerland.
No, he didn't. And we also checked with the United States government and got an itinerary or schedule of Air Force One flights. And guess what's not included in that, Simon Parks? There's no flight to Switzerland in the time frame you're talking about, with or without Donald Trump on it. There's no flight to Switzerland. You dummy. You dummy. And anybody listening to him, listen to me. You can call the government, right? You can make some phone calls. Call your congressman. Call the media relations department at the White House. Somebody is going to answer a question like, has the Air Force One flown to Switzerland in the last several days or week or two? And yeah, I have it on the record. Source got back to me and said, no, there has been no flights to Switzerland from Air Force One. So 2 times, Simon Parks, we busted you lying on the same lie. I have 2 sources that completely and totally refute what you're saying right here. You liar.
Switzerland in a helicopter. So that's important because he had some big business to deal with and some important papers to sign.
Yeah, sign some
real
papers,
impact
bro.
For the very, very near future. And so how interesting that the day after this, Switzerland announces that it too will not require masks to be worn, mandatory, and in fact non-essential shops can also open. So we really are, being shown, I think, quite clearly who is the real boss here. Is it the person, whoever he might be, in Castle Rock in California, or is it actually President Trump?
Yeah, Castle Rock is a reference to this. There's a famous White House set in Castle Rock, California, I believe. That's Simon Parks' garbage. That Biden's not really in the White House. And I also see idiots posting this live video feed of the White House with the lights out, saying, see, nobody's there. It's ridiculous. But this is the garbage that these people are spewing, that Joe Biden's not in the White House. He's on a Hollywood set, right? And there was even pictures of like, oh, look, see, there's the end of the set. Turned out that it was the edge of a door in the picture when you zoom out the picture and uncrop it. This is the level of garbage that these people are spewing. No, Donald Trump is still the president, bro. And the military's on his side, and they're going to arrest Biden. No, none of this is real. It's fantasy land, just like this guy fucking an alien. But okay, let's hear what else he has to say.
And clearly, these 17 states, you've stuck the proverbial finger, or if you're British, the 2-fingered, the V sign, to the guy who was fraudulently elected.
And by the way, again, AI algorithm gods, I did not say anything about somebody being elected unfairly, unjustly, or through deceptive practices or means up to and including fraud. This clown did. And we dispute the validity of his argument here.
And they're just going to, get back and get people's lives back to normal and get businesses back open and running, just as they have been to some extent in Florida. Although there has been a lot of effect on Florida, of course, just because they didn't have a mask or a lockdown in the true sense of the word doesn't mean businesses haven't suffered.
Yeah, and so here's what this idiot is trying to do. After months talking about March 4th, how Donald Trump is going to triumphantly return to the White House and become the president again, and Joe Biden's getting arrested, right? And all this has had to happen, and Trump let it happen, and trust the scam, the plan, you know? Now he's going to look around and see whatever signs he can find for something happening and say, well, see, that's what happened. These states dropped their mask mandates. Yeah, like 2 did in the time frame that he's talking about. And that was scheduled in advance. They have certain parameters, like if the infection rate falls below this, if the hospitalization rate falls below this, we'll remove the mask mandate. That happened. And he's going to use that as, you know, some kind of proof that he was right. And something did happen on March 4th. Bullshit. Bullshit.
But the important thing is that a number of states now, 17 of them, are insisting that they go back to some form of normality.
No, it's not 17. He's lying again.
And Switzerland, and there are a couple of other countries now that are also following suit. So we're beginning to see a real division between what I would call the deep state.
And by the way, I did forget, pardon me, to check if Switzerland requires masks right now or drop their mask mandate. But even if they did drop their mask mandate recently, it's not why he's saying they dropped their mask mandate because Donald Trump went there in Air Force One and talked to them. And then suddenly they dropped their mask mandates. Except Donald Trump hasn't been to Switzerland in a long time. And he certainly hasn't flown on Air Force One. And the United States government confirmed for me today that Air Force One has not been in Switzerland or had any flights to Switzerland in quite some time. So he's just lying through his teeth here.
State, the cabal group, who are insisting that we double mask and live in fear and don't do anything, opposed to those who are much more free thinking and realize that there has to be a balance struck between being sensible and cautious, but not destroying your nation's economy or your mental health or that of your children simply because of a fear-driven cabalistic plan. So I wanted to talk about that. We understand that we probably will be going back to YouTube in April. The information that we've been receiving tends to make me think that we're not talking years before what we hope to see happens. We're not talking actually months. We are talking...
Yeah, and by the way, he had to take most of his videos down because he's talking about all the things that YouTube is flagging and deleting channels for. Right? That was a self-preservation move, and he's going to try to act like the cabal, like he had an insider tell him, you better get off YouTube. No, you dummy. You saw all of your friends getting their channels deleted for talking about this smack, garbage, nonsense, disinformation, misinformation, fake information. I hate to use the term, but I will. All of this shit is fake news. All of it.
Days and weeks before some very exciting initiatives take place, and we expect to be back on YouTube in April. And then we can, see who's running YouTube, but see what the rules are then, see how they might have changed a little bit. Certainly we want to pick up back with the 3 million that we connected with prior to having to go on to BitChute and others.
Yeah, I believe he was.
So we are looking at some very exciting imminent action regarding the economy of the world, and
makes him sound more credible, like it's more than just him thinking this garbage.
And I am being careful. I'm not going to do anything that's going to make me not flavor of the month with certain individuals, because then I won't get any more information at all. So it's better to be cautious.
And what a tragedy it would be, right, if he doesn't get any more information. Because the quality of the information that he has presented so far has been so entirely accurate. What a tragedy it would be if he stops being so popular talking about this nonsense and no longer gets the intel and he doesn't get briefings. Who in the United States government thinks this? Wakes up one day and goes, there's some stuff going on in our shadow government, and I should get it out to a journalist or somebody that could tell people the truth of what's going on. You know who I'm going to call? The guy who fucked the cat queen alien. He's going to be our spokesperson. He'll be our media guy. We'll leak the real information to the guy that fucked the cat queen alien. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like something that a government official would do. Wake up one day and say, I'm going to call the guy that fucked cat queen aliens and tell him the truth about the shadow government in the United States. Yeah. Oh, that sounds plausible. That sounds probable, right? Yeah.
Give something away than, get nothing. And we are looking at some very important times. March, the month we're in, we've just started it, should be a very big game changer. I believe it should.
March 4th was supposed to be a game changer. Now he's kicking the can. Now it's sometime in March. Tick-tock, motherfucker. It's already March. What is it? It's March 8th already. Tick-tock, motherfucker. Now that you're making new predictions that aren't going to come true. Like you've been doing for the past several months, you dummy. You got to stop this because even your followers are saying that you're crazy now.
Should be on the information that I've received. So March should be very, very exciting. And then as we go into April.
Wonder.
This is our home.
Sorry, if I'm not getting paid for ads, I'm not playing them. Hold on, friends. Let me fix that. Oh, and it's great. He's got monetized YouTube channel, right? Why is he allowed to be monetized? And I've been waiting for 6 weeks now to be monetized, right? I'm telling people the truth. And he's lying through his fucking teeth. Hey, YouTube CEO, how come this guy is allowed to get super chat donations and allowed to have YouTube revenue for lying to people, and I'm not allowed when I'm doing fact checking and telling people the honest to God truth and the reality? I'm not allowed, but he is? That's some bullshit. All right, now I got to share the video again. And, sorry to Marvel, but I'm not going to play that commercial when I'm not getting paid for it. He is. Uh-oh. I got 2 of them up. Let me fix that so I don't share the wrong one. Bear with me, friends. All right, now we're down to the right one. Yeah, and for those that have asked about Super Chat donations, I'm still waiting for YouTube to turn them on. We've hit the metrics. We've done everything they asked us to do. I filled out the stuff, right? And we're still just waiting. Every day I check my email hoping that they've turned on the Super Chats. I don't really care about the YouTube ad pennies. I doubt I'm even going to turn those on, but I would like the Super Chats. If this guy is allowed to get Super Chat donations while lying to people on a live stream, I should be allowed to get them while telling people the honest to God truth. And I have sources and real sources that people can go after me and check my work. He will never give you that. But he's allowed to collect money on YouTube, and I'm not. And I got to tell you, I'm a little bitter about that.
Interest should continue to build. Now, it was last year that I and Becky were invited by the Taoist monks to go to their temple in Britain, their head office in Britain, to receive a Taoist blessing. And I was really, really very privileged to do that. We didn't,
Yeah, he has to be. He's got ads on there.
I don't know how you would apply, but somebody came to us and said that they really wanted to put a blessing on us because the guy who was in charge of this temple,
I have no idea how he's allowed to be monetized. Talking this smack.
Remember, this is last year, that March was going to be a very difficult, trying time. In fact, what he actually said was the run-up, including March. So literally January, February, March were going to be very difficult times, and they wanted to provide a blessing. They had looked at what we do at Connecting Consciousness and decided that Connecting Consciousness was a spiritual organization with a very strong future, and they liked what they saw, and they wanted to provide a blessing on us and on the...
What Taoist organization listens to a guy, seeks out a guy who fucked cat queen aliens, right? What Taoist organization, what religious organization, period, goes, you know what we need to do? There's this guy out there and he fucks cat queen aliens, right? And we ought to bless him. We ought to bless him because he's out there fucking aliens. And he's out there pushing letter of the alphabet conspiracy garbage, we ought to give him a blessing, right? This is just more garbage that he's feeding his followers. Look, I'm important. A religious organization sought me and my wife out to bless us. You know, while I'm talking about fucking cat queen aliens and fake shit like March 4th, Donald Trump's going to be president again. No, he's not. And none of this is real.
The organization, and we were very, very grateful to receive that. But, he did have intelligence, so that's not military intelligence, it's spiritual intelligence. And he was able to say, look, we've looked into the future and these are the difficult times. And we're very grateful and very humble that, these people would,
you're probably right.
want to do that. And just, for clarity's sake, these are not part of the Chinese system, it's part of the Tibetan system. The official Chinese government does not get on with the cultural or religious aspect of the Tibetan people.
I'm not an expert in Taoism, but Taoism is not Tibetan, you dummy. Taoism is from China. Has nothing to do. Tibet is Buddhism. Buddhism and Taoism are two different things. You're a dummy.
The Taoist monks are not allowed in China. They're not allowed to have any temples in China. Now that is why they've gone out into other countries that are more free and open. And we often talk about how spirit moves in the most amazing ways.
Probably read a fortune cookie.
And, we were driving through the inner city up to this location. We're on the motorway, and it was just a standard motorway, freeway if you're in America. Very drab.
He's doing the alien booty.
Buildings. And there was a little bridge across the motorway, a little footbridge. And as we approached it, there was a person leading two llamas on a rope. Now, it did say that
he's so soft-spoken.
Tend to originate from South America, but we always talk about the Dalai Lama from Tibet. And so it was really amazing how spirit moves. That we were driving to this Taoist blessing, and there was a guy with a bit of old rope leading two llamas across.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry, but again, I'm no expert, but the Dalai Lama and a llama are two different things. They don't mean the same thing, you dummy. Oh, I'm just letting you know, okay? Those are two different words, completely different words and meanings. But somehow he saw llamas, so he decided to go ahead with this Taoist blessing that has nothing to do with Tibetan Buddhism. Okay, all right.
A footbridge across a motorway in the most built-up area you can imagine. So there was a sign, and we both looked at each other in the car and thought, yeah, we're meant to do this. We're meant to do it. So a lot of things are beginning to come into play now. The information that received from a great number of people, some military, some not military, all pointing towards what I call a tipping point. The number of commentators who say the war's won, it's all over, just sit back and enjoy it. And I can't really sit back and enjoy it. I can't do
that. He meant Darling Llama, Cat Queen's hot sister. Yeah.
Let's see the evidence. Let's get that through. I know what these guys are saying, and they're right. They are accurate. They're right. But I want to see things happening in the mainstream.
If he does, he's a dummy.
The information that we're getting is that March and April we will begin to see things that even the mainstream can't.
That cat behind him better be careful.
Block.
He's got a thing for cats, remember? He banged a cat queen alien. I think that cat is in danger. You in danger, kitty! Get out of there!
Hide. And that's very, very exciting. I want to thank all of my coordinators in Connecting Consciousness for your outstanding work. I understand and know that many of you have received abusive emails.
Okay, now here he's going to talk about all the abusive emails that his forum coordinators are getting. And let me tell you the truth, because he won't. The abusive emails go something like this. Simon Parks, you're a liar. You said this was going to happen, and it didn't. Simon Parks, you're a liar. You said this was going to happen on this date, and nothing happened. That's the abuse that he's talking about. Him and his forum people are not getting abuse. They're getting checked. Even Simon Parks fans are waking up and going, bro, you've been talking about this smack for 2 years and nothing that you said happened. And then you said this thing on March 4th. So they're all starting to post on his forum, this is all horseshit. And he's getting mad and he's saying that that's abusive. How dare you say that what I said didn't happen, right? Even though it didn't. Oh, it's beautiful.
You see, before this situation in America, we attracted spiritual people who understood the bigger game, shall I say. And then when, we focused on America, we got a lot of people joining who just wanted the information. They wanted the intelligence. And they joined the organization thinking that that would somehow give them more information. And didn't like the fact that we have meditations.
Fuzzy kitty. Uh-oh.
And so they were very cross, and they would write a nasty email and then they would leave.
Could be.
My point here is that if you are interested in the latest intel, don't join my organization. Just listen to the podcast, listen to the information as part of your trawl through all of the speakers to get an overall picture of what's happening. But don't join, because
join.
What I want are people who are fully aware of what's going on in the world and are spiritually motivated.
He doesn't want critics. That's what he's saying. Don't join if you're going to be critical of my bullshit predictions that never happen.
Just to give you the news, we hope to be going back on track to America. You remember I told you that we were planning to go to America, and then
bad kitty. Oh no.
COVID, the virus and the lockdown, and then we had the situation, politics.
Two male cats.
So
I'd still keep them away from Simon Parks.
Now, it looks
Don
like we're
Crazy
sort of going back on track now. So that's looking more and more positive to pick up where we left off to.
Oh, he's coming to America.
States.
Great.
I'm hoping to go in the fairly near future for a week to do a fact-finding tour. Certainly want to look around Florida.
Yeah, Simon Parks is going to come to America and do a fact-finding tour. And maybe he needs to do that because he hasn't had one fact in about 2 years about all this letter of the alphabet garbage. But he's going to come to America and do a fact-finding mission. All right, Simon. Good, Simon Parks. You're welcome here. You can come here. I'll interview right here in my home studio.
Florida.
And bring the Cat Queen alien with you, okay? Maybe I'll be feeling frisky. We can take turns on her, right?
Very interested in Texas. Very interested in Arizona. So although it will just be 1 week's fact-finding tour as we go around those states or one state, I'm very keen that the coordinators from surroundings would be able to meet up, physically. Just for an afternoon or something like that.
Yeah, always changing the goalposts. After I finish my fact-finding mission, I'll have new intel to share. Yeah, okay, yeah, right.
Been shown what we needed to be shown. It's not a vacation. This is a work meeting.
Yeah, you know why he's saying it's not a vacation? So that people will pay for it for him. It's not a vacation.
Etc., etc.
Just like when Corey Good goes and swims with dolphins in Hawaii. That's not a vacation. That's a conference appearance.
In the new situation that we truly believe is coming, that connecting consciousness.
That is hot, genocide.
A role, whatever that may be, who knows. But we are very keen to be involved in humanitarian projects. We're going to be involved in spiritual projects. And,
I missed the one I wanted to get. Drone-free zone. I think you're new. If you are, welcome. Hey, I only condone doing Nordic human-type alien girls. Good. Me too.
Seek to think would be useful.
Those Greys has nasty
all
vaginas.
All of those people who have stuck with us in connecting consciousness, thank you. And I hope that you will see that this was the right thing to do.
Toxoplasmosis. Not familiar with that. What does that mean, Andrew?
Self. You didn't just listen to the brain or what other
I gotta look it up.
And those of you who left a rude or abusive messages and have left, I don't want you back. Please don't come back.
You were nasty because I was so wrong about all this. Please don't come back.
What has happened to you, and why you got it wrong and why others actually got it right. because
Now he's saying
I
he got it
understand,
right. Oh,
to a
God.
certain extent, that the world is in turmoil.
I got to stop him here. He's saying that the people that are critical of his failed predictions got it wrong and he got it right. No, you asshole. By the very definition of all your predictions were wrong, you got it wrong, bro. And you know what? This guy's ego is so big, right? Because it's got to be. Like, oh, I do a live stream and, thousands of people show up to hear what I have to say, even though it's all fake and made up nonsense. And after 2 years of this shit and people throwing money at him, he can't believe that the game is over. And now he has to pick up his marbles and go home. And this guy's like Mr. Oh, I'm spiritual. Really? A spiritual person would say, gee, I'm sorry, I was misled. I believed in this garbage. It turned out to be garbage. I apologize. No, he's not doing that. He's saying that he was right. And all those critics were completely and totally wrong. He got it right, friends. No, you didn't get it right. You got it wrong. That's why we're making fun of you. That's why those people are on your forum talking about what a liar you are. Because you got everything wrong, Simon Parks.
But if you are connected to your higher self, you are able to punch through all of this fakery and see the truth.
Hey, Simon Parks, I must be connected to my higher self then, because I am able to see through all of this garbage, this false information, this fakery, this fraudery, this grift. What you did for the past several years is con people out of money for fake stories. That's what you did. I need to connect to my higher self so I could figure that out for myself. Maybe I am. Maybe I am, friends. I'm connected to my higher self because, look, I must be connected to my higher self. It's like I have superpowers of discernment because somehow I'm able to logically put together that some guy that for years ran around talking about fucking aliens, like literally talking about he fucked aliens, is not a credible source of information. I was able to discern that. And you know why? I was able to discern that because I'm connected to my higher self, right? Okay.
And, they see so much and they just get confused and angry and they want to lash out. Well, that's what a 6-year-old child does that doesn't necessarily get its own way in the candy store. And when you're grown up and an adult, that is not the way to behave. It's certainly not a spiritual way. It's not a professional way. It's not a spiritual way. We've been going 11 years now.
A guy who talked about fucking aliens, having sex with aliens, having hybrid babies with aliens, having an alien mom and dad, and then went on to talk about this letter of the alphabet conspiracy nonsense for 2 years, none of which was real, is going to lecture us on being an adult and being professional. Sounds legit. It seems legit.
Yeah. And I'm heartened and pleased that a number of individuals have understood that connecting consciousness is a force to bring good to the earth. Just I suppose like that Taoist guy, there's the head of the Taoist.
No, his whole organization is a force to bring money into his pocket. They don't do anything good. You know what? Lying to people for years about fucking aliens, Simon Parks, is not bringing good to the world. It's just bringing money into your pocket. Lying to people about this letter of the alphabet conspiracy nonsense is not bringing good to the world, Simon Parks. There's no good in lies.
Sector in Britain, and he obviously wanted to recognise the work we do, and now others are doing so. And so
and I challenge Simon Parks, send me the name of this Taoist organization, and I'm going to talk to their leadership, and I'm going to let them know that you're the guy that's been talking about having sex with aliens and having alien hybrid babies. And then I'm going to interview that guy about what good work you're doing in the world that you need to be blessed for. Because I want to know any religious leader that wants to bless you for talking about fucking an alien cat queen. All right? That would be a great interview. right? I'll throw him a few softballs first. Like, well, tell us about your organization. Oh, do you meditate? Oh, Taoism. Yeah, I read the Tao Te Ching. Great book. Lots of wisdom there. By the way, did you know that guy that you offered to bless fucks a cat queen alien and had cat queen alien babies? And his mommy and daddy are aliens, and his dad, the alien, may have sexually assaulted or harmed some women, right? Did you know that? Before you gave him the blessing, right? Oh, hardball, right? You know, that would be a great interview. So, Simon Parks, please get back to me with the name of that Taoist organization, that religious organization that wants to bless you, because I'm going to call them. I'm going to call them and let them know that you've been fucking a cat queen alien, Simon Parks, that you've been talking about fucking a cat queen alien for years, right? And then I'm going to ask them why they were blessing you for fucking a cat queen alien. Is that what they do? They go around the world and go, excuse me, have you ever fucked a cat queen alien? Our religion would like to bless you. This is garbage. He's making this shit up. He's just making this shit up. Make himself seem spiritual and believable and important. You're not important. You're a guy on the internet who lies to people.
That's why I say that whatever role we have and my coordinators have, they will be spiritual work, but in a very real practical way. And you know, we stand ready to assist and to help any new incoming government.
Him and his organization is going to help any new incoming governments. Because, you know, when you're forming a new government, you know what's important? You got to get the guy, and I hate to keep saying this, that fucks aliens to help you with the spiritual side of your government. And Simon Parks, what's spiritual about fucking an alien and having alien hybrid babies? What's spiritual about that? What makes you an authority on spirituality when your only apparent qualifications are that you like to bang aliens in your spare time and tell people stories about the aliens you bang? This makes no sense. Look, I bet you his phone's ringing off the hook with government leaders that need his insight and advice, right? It's garbage. This guy is full of shit, bullshit, horse shit. Whatever shit you want, pick a shit. He's full of it.
We stand ready to assist and help. But we will not get drawn into the petty politics of it.
What's it going to help him do? Find aliens to bang?
Attacking people or running people down or pointing the finger, you know, and it's just pointless. And I let the comments go on this BitChute for a while. I let people sort of just become more and more.
Yes, you missed the alien eat bang.
Just like President Trump does it to let other people see the evil that is exposed.
That's gross, effluent for you.
But now as
we do not condone bestiality here.
Time in terms
or
of
encourage it.
Human awakening. This is a positive final, not an ending final, but a final close of a rather difficult phase we've been in, and we're about to step through to a much more positive and beautiful time. Now, I've turned those comments off because, frankly, I'm now too busy dealing with all the things that I'm dealing with to even give a second's notice to people who spiritually are fractured.
Yeah, people calling him on his lies are spiritually fractured. He has to turn the comments off because he can't take the number of negative comments that he's getting about the lies that he's been telling for years, about the garbage information that he's been pushing on people begging for money for years. He can't withstand the comments. You know what? You're a pussy. Simon Parks is a pussy. And I don't mean that just because he fucks a cat queen alien. I just mean he's a pussy. Because, listen, I let people comment anything on my shows. Sometimes people comment, you suck, your show sucks, your voice sucks, your laugh sucks, your set's too dark, your microphone is shitty, right? Okay, I let people comment. I could take it, whatever. He can't even take the criticism of people saying, you promised this, it didn't happen, you're a liar. I read those comments, right? That's what the comments were. There was no fractured spirituality people in there being nasty. They were basically just saying, you lied about X, Y, and Z. I have no reason to believe you. You said X, Y, and Z would happen on this date. Nothing happened. I think your information is false. I think you're a false prophet. He can't take it. He can't take the negative backlash that he's now getting. And you know what? He should be getting a negative backlash. He's been lying through his teeth for years. It's all coming back to him now.
Who have a lot of healing to do on themselves.
Oh yeah, they have healing to do. Not you.
Things begin to change and develop, which they're going to in a very, very short time. To those people who got it wrong, please don't try and rejoin.
Yeah, things are happening. Lots of things are happening, and there's going to be a massive change very shortly. Again, kicking the can because he's been so wrong. He was wrong about March 4th. He was wrong. He once said that Biden would never be inaugurated. He would never walk in the White House. He'll be arrested before then or something like that, right? He was wrong about that. He's been wrong for years. And now he can't take the backlash of people in the public saying, you're full of shit, your information is false, you're a liar. So he's going to blame them. They're not spiritually enlightened enough to understand our information or why it was so wrong, right? And I got it right. He's right. He's saying I got it right and they got it wrong. No. If they say you said this would happen on this date and nothing happened, they got it right, Simon Parks, and you got it wrong. And I guess your fragile little ego can't take that.
Because I don't want you. And those of you who are brand new to the organization and haven't been involved in any of the
maybe,
then you're very welcome to join, providing you understand that it's about service to others, not about service to self. This is about doing things for other people when other people need that help and assistance. It's not about holding somebody's hand forever.
Well, finally some good news. We'll be getting a stim check soon. Oh, here we go again. Another commercial. Because you know what this guy needs? He needs more money for lying to people. That's what he needs. He needs more money for lying to people. What is this, like the third ad? Hold on, friends. Now I got to share this again. And again, if I'm not getting paid for the ads, I'm not playing them. No. So I skipped the ads. Next time I'm going to rip the video. And then it won't have ads and I'll just be able to share it locally. But for now, we have to do... Oh, wait a minute. Let me make sure I share the audio. Let me try that one more time, friends. Okay, we're almost through it. We almost made it.
So that they can then get on and do what they need to do. And, I think the days are gone where the big corporates or private companies, per se, would be contracted to do that sort of work. I think in the future it's going to be spiritual or humanitarian organizations with a track record of not having any influence or connection with what I would call satanic or greed. So it is an incredibly exciting time.
Yeah, and I'd love to know what world-changing things his organization has done besides collect money from people for fake stories. And wasn't he also involved in that 5G scam where he was selling like those stickers that would, protect you from 5G? I'm pretty sure he was, but if I'm misspeaking, I apologize, right? And he's always selling some garbage like, buy my book about banging aliens, buy my book about my alien daddy or my alien mommy or me talking to aliens, buy my book, buy my documentary, right? Buy my all-access pass to my website. He does nothing in the real world, near as I can tell, except I believe he's still a driving instructor. That's another thing people don't realize. Really, all these world leaders and people inside the government, these insiders are calling some driving instructor in England that used to talk about aliens to give him intelligence and briefings. Yeah, right.
The information that we are receiving is very exciting.
Again, the information's been exciting for years. It might be exciting, Simon Parks, but it's dead wrong. It's made up fake garbage. It's bullshit. It may be exciting, but it's fake.
Leads us in connecting consciousness to believe that we are on the threshold of achieving something really quite exciting, not just for connecting consciousness, but for many people across the world. It's an exciting time because
Exciting times
it brings a
ahead.
new
Keep
change
sending me
in the
money.
way, a new understanding of how perhaps as human beings we value each other.
No idea. I'd guess
We can
thousands.
move away from this desperate need to click on a
Yes,
a
please
YouTube
do.
video, then go and check the cell phone, then go and do this and go and do that, and spend our time just doing it.
Yeah, we should take a poll. Whose office is more messy, C.W. Channer's or Simon Parks? Look, it looks like he's got like beer cans back there and that blue pin. All right, maybe that's me. Actually, I'm surrounded by beer cans. I gotta clean up. It looks like a frat house in here. I'm just better, right? I'm just as bad. Ethan Tremblay. My office is a fucking shit show here. There's literally beer cans on the floor. There's a table here that have beer cans on it. There's some beer cans on this table over here. Right in front of me, right in front of the computer, I cleared just enough of the empty beer cans to be able to see the screen, right? Because sometimes they get double decked, right? If I run out of space, you got to stack them. And then you can only see parts of the screen, right? My office is a shit show. I'm just good at cropping it out, right? Crop it all out so that nobody sees the beer cans. In fact, my wife had to make a video for my son of me saying daddy earlier. And she was like, oh my God, look at this mess. Sit further back so that I don't get the beer cans in the shot. Yeah. But it looks like he's got beer cans or something in that blue bin, maybe? Maybe I'm just projecting. I don't know. I would think that if you got to lie every day, imagine every day you got to wake up and go, people are waiting for my latest video. I got to make up a bunch of bullshit. Every day of your life, you wake up and you go, I got to make up some shit. That's why all these guys are on drugs, right? And again, that's my opinion. That's my speculation. But a lot of these cosmic con man grifters are on drugs or they drink heavily. We've seen it. We can see examples of these guys who tell fairyland stories. I think the pressure gets to them and they start drinking, right? Or doing drugs or worse, right? Or worse. All right, let's keep going. We're almost through it. We got like 4 more minutes.
And getting more and more chewed up inside. And then when things don't go the way we want them to go.
Oh, he has art for sale. Yeah, he draws like the aliens that he bangs and talks to.
Let everybody know how crazy we are. And that is not a fully formed human. Okay, that is a human that has got a lot of development yet to do. And hey, there's going to be plenty of time for those people who are in that stage to go through that healing and that process.
Selling fish and chips.
Find themselves at the end of it. But those of you, a lot of you, who are already there, understand it, know what to do. You're rolling your sleeves up and saying, right, what can I do to help? This is an exciting time. Let's just do this.
CW has more alien artifacts.
Waiting. We all need to be given some.
Well, look, he does have an organite pyramid behind him, right? That's some new age bullshit.
But I hope everything I'm picking up means that there are exciting times ahead, and we just get to wait just a few more days, a few more weeks.
Exciting times ahead. We just have to wait a few more days or a few more weeks. All right, so what I got to do is I have to get back to Simon Parks in 2 weeks and see if anything happened. And then when it didn't, we can make fun of him again. Because here's another prediction. And listen to how vague he is. Exciting things are happening, and we just have to wait a few more days or a few more weeks. Sure, Mr. Parks. Sure we do. Because we all waited till March 4th, and nothing happened. And here you are on March 5th, trying to backpedal like crazy and explain why nothing happened on March 4th. And still convince people that exciting things are happening, send me some money. Garbage.
I don't think years. No way. Months, possibly, but I'm talking weeks, really.
Weeks, okay. Exciting things are going to happen.
Changes that everyone who's got eyes and ears will have some cognizance of what is occurring. Remember that the bad guys own the media. That's all they have now, just the media. And they are actually quite small. They've lost a
The
lot
lower
of their
levels.
power. Some of the key linchpins that held these people in positions of strength have been removed, and a lot of these bad
I have
guys
no
are
idea what you're
going
saying,
to
Drone Free Zone, but it's
where
funny.
can they go? And some bad guys,
Drug-addled
have been shown
hobos
to be
stealing
good
your
guys.
bicycle. Oh no.
Or some people who weren't so good have decided that they want to be on the lifeboat. If the bad boat is sinking, they want to get on the lifeboat and paddle across to the other boat, which is the good boat. So,
Yeah, and listen to the way that he speaks. It's almost like NLP. I'm the good guy. These people criticizing me are spiritually cracked and, lacking, right? I've got the good boat, and you might want to get on the lifeboat so that I can save you. Like he's some kind of messianic figure. I'm not sure what a Messiah is, but I'm pretty sure it's not a guy that's a driving instructor from England that talks about fucking aliens and having alien baby hybrids, right? I'm pretty sure that's not a Messiah.
so there's a lot happening, and I just hope that we don't have to wait too long. So I just wanted to have a quick word, a quick catch up with you, and once again to all my coordinators, we have now 60,000 members worldwide, and I understand that you.
Jesus Christ, if that's true, that means that there are 60,000 stupid people that are even stupider, right? It's like George Carlin. Like, think about the amount of stupid people you know. And then remember, there are people even stupider than that. It's disappointing that this guy would have 60,000. I don't know if he means 60,000 paid members on his website or just members, right? And if it is just sign up, then it's still an impressive number. 60,000 people signed up for his website. Amazing. 60,000 people must want to hear about him getting it on with aliens. Great.
Been inundated with applications to join from good spiritual people who also like the news. They also want to hear the news. Of course they do. We all do.
Yeah, and I just want to say, if you're going to some driving instructor from England who bangs aliens and has an alien daddy and an alien mommy, and then when he got in trouble for like maybe not being so kind to women, blamed his alien daddy, his shadow demon alien daddy for doing the bad stuff to those women, right? Then maybe you're stupid. If you're going to this idiot to get your world news, then you're probably a fucking idiot.
Joining because they want to be of service, and they are beginning to realize that the world is changing, and being part of a spiritual organization that is also a practical organization is the way forward. And I thank you for all your hard work, and I'm sorry that so many people who are just angry people have hit you with emails.
They're angry at you for lying, bro.
Organization, you write to them, or don't even bother. Just terminate them if they're abusive or rude. You just remove them from the database. You just remove them completely. And we put a little note, handwritten note, so that if somebody wants to rejoin, then the answer is no. That is the way forward. I don't want.
He's taking his marbles and going home. Oh, see, another commercial. That's like the 5th commercial. Let's share it again. And again, how the fuck is this guy monetized on YouTube and I'm not allowed to be, right? And yeah, I curse. I'm sorry I curse, right? I speak like a man, like an adult man. I talk to my friends like this. And sure, we talk about some crazy things, but it's an adult show. I put not for kids on every video. We can't get the monetization turned on, but this guy can, lying through his teeth, right? And I have facts and sources, and we do like real journalistic stuff here, right? Where I can show people sources that I talked to that confirmed or denied factual statements from this clown and others. We can't get the super chats turned on, but this guy is allowed to make YouTube money, right? I'm writing the CEO of YouTube a letter. I really am. And I'm going to clip out all the garbage that this guy's been talking about for years. And I'm going to say to her, you got to listen to this guy and explain to me why he's allowed to make YouTube ad revenue and have super chat donations and I'm not. None of this makes any sense. You know what it is? There's no humans. There's like 4 humans running all of YouTube, right? It's all AI algorithms making these decisions. And we're getting left out. We're getting left out in the cold here, just trying to make a living here, making it very difficult. Everybody wants those super chat donations turned on, you know? And what do I keep saying? So do I, but they won't turn them on. We've been waiting 6 weeks now. Oh, I did it again. I don't want to start cursing about our stream services provider, but that's another thing that's been aggravating me lately. Okay, here we are.
Bring it down with low, dense energy.
Oh, just a few more seconds. It wasn't even worth sharing it again.
We know the high vibration that we seek. We know what's coming around the corner. And
it's coming around the corner!
Thank you. I much appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
There's exciting things coming just around the corner. And that is exactly what he's been saying for 2 years, friends. Exactly what he has been saying for 2 years. And just to be clear, I'm going to check. And, you know, I would have to check in with when I announced that we hit the YouTube analytics. But I think it was 6, maybe even 7 weeks ago now. And when I hit channel monetization, it says step 1, review partner program terms, did that. Step 2, sign up for Google AdSense, did that. And honestly, that's kind of a nightmare because you need a phone and you got to verify things so that they know that you're a real person, this and that, whatever. Step 3, get reviewed. It says in progress. And it has said in progress for 6 or 7 weeks now. And I'm very disappointed by that. I mean, I thought it was going to take a few weeks. I didn't know it was going to take, 12 weeks. And, and I hate to sound greedy or selfish, okay? But every day that they don't turn those super chat donations on a day that I do a show is a day that I lose, let's just be fair and say $20. But over the course of a month of 30 shows, that could actually make a difference in my life, right? If we just say, and listen, we have a very generous crowd, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that every show we got $20 in super chat donations. That would be $600 in the space of a month, right? Or no, it wouldn't. It would be $500 if we do 5 shows a week or something like, But I think that people are going to be more generous than that once those are turned on, or I'm hopeful they will. So it bothers me because it's like we just lost at least $500, $600, $700 in revenue, and that's a conservative estimate. And do you know what a difference $500 or $600 in revenue could make to the show? Like I could get a chair that doesn't squeak, right? I could buy I really want to buy a Blue Yeti microphone. That's one of my next purchases. Just so that when idiots and sound men, we get these guys. Like, I'm a sound man, and I got to tell you that the lower frequencies of your microphone is really not adequate, and you need to add a compressor and a noise gate and maybe a parametric EQ. To deepen out your voice because the microphone you're using is not adequate. It's an industry standard broadcast quality microphone, but okay. But I'm going to buy the Blue Yeti, which is what every streamer uses, right? Almost every. It's just the big industry standard. And then anytime somebody complains, I'm going to give them Blue Yeti's email address. I'm tired of hearing complaints about stupid things like a microphone, right? Or the set's too dark, the set's too bright. Right? I don't like this music or that music. Like, okay, I get it. You're anal, right? And you complain a lot about something that you're getting for free. All right, but back to the point of the YouTube monetization. Like, honestly, it would make a huge difference in my life, and I could. What I was thinking is that for those that don't know, I used to drive Uber. I had a small business pre-COVID, but COVID destroyed my business because my business was repairing computers in people's homes. I was in-home service. I had some business clients, and I was in office. I'd go right there to their office. Um, First of all the office business people pretty much canceled service because they're all working from home, right? And I don't know, what they're doing if something breaks. Nobody's calling me. And number two, the bigger part of the business was consumers. So in other words, instead of going to the Geek Squad at Best Buy, you just call me and I come to your house and I fix it right there, or I take it with me and I bring it back the next day, whatever. Nobody wants me in their house. So my business went to total nothing. And back when the business was doing pretty good or okay, I would drive Uber. Like if I had a rough week, I would just go make $100 on Uber, drive an Uber on a Friday or Saturday night. And I hit my nut every single week because if the business side was light, I just made up the difference driving Uber. I haven't done that since the pandemic because, somebody could sneeze on me from my back seat and I'm going to die of COVID, right? Or bring it home to my family or what. So, I said it before, I'd just like to make minimum wage, right? Doing this. I don't think that's too much to ask the universe. Can I make minimum wage doing this, right? And anybody that's done a show knows it's not just the 2 hours that I'm here, I spent, by the way, another piece of show business, I guess, I spent all day yesterday working on a new, well, it's not new, but a refurbished workstation to run the show on because I'm stubborn and I have my own Linux operating system and I'm trying to run the show on it. It's not going too good. So I basically am throwing in the towel on that and saying, I'll just run Windows 10, whatever. There's some software that requires Windows 10 that I want to use, like SnapCam, and I don't know, there's some sound software that I could use with the show to improve the quality of the show sound that runs on Windows, and a few other things. And also, our stream services provider will not admit that when the stream quality goes to shit, it's their fault, not mine. They're telling me, you don't have a powerful enough computer or GPU in order to use the green screen feature and have a good quality stream. So I go, okay, I don't think so. I've done massive testing. Every time I just record things, it's perfectly crystal clear and fine. When I send it to StreamYard to distribute to our stream platforms, half of a 2-hour stream will look like 144p, right? It'll look worse than VHS. It's terrible. It's their fault, friends. They won't admit it. But I have to eliminate the possibilities that they're saying it's my fault. So I spent all day yesterday working on this stupid, I don't even know what it is. It's like a Dell workstation. But it's quad core. It'll have a really good video card in it, sufficient to play games on, some of the latest games. So there's no way that that's not powerful enough to do the green screen and run the stream, whatever. So I have to finish building that PC up. I had to order a few parts. Story of my life. I'm waiting for parts. My point is that it's not just the 2 hours you're here. If you're a one-man show like me, I'm my own tech support, so I have to spend all day building up a computer to run the stream with so that I can, argue more with my stream services provider that this shitty stream quality is their fault and not my fault. I just want to eliminate all possibilities. I want to be able to send them the specs of this very powerful, fairly new computer and say, it's not me, bro. It's you. Fix the problem or I'm discontinuing being a customer of yours, right? They're blaming it on me. They're saying, oh no, your computer must not be powerful enough, right? And they didn't even ask me the specs of the computers that I'm using. They just said, your computer must not be powerful enough. Okay. I did testing. I didn't have a Windows 10 desktop because I hate Windows in general, but especially Windows 10. I can sort of tolerate 7, so most of my desktops run 7 still. I have a Windows 10, almost brand new. It's like 1 year old IBM ThinkPad that I tried running the stream on. Again, if I record the stream, everything looks great. If I send it to StreamYard to distribute to the stream platforms, half of the stream looks shitty. It's not the computer, but they won't believe me. So I want to be able to go back to them and say, I tried this computer, here's the specs. This computer, here's the specs. This computer, here's the specs. Tell me that these 3 different computers are not powerful enough to do it. Right? Because they are, you know. Again, I'm getting off in the weeds. But my point of this whole thing is it's a lot of time and a lot of energy to do a show and do a show well. Right? And, you know, part of me just wants to be that lazy guy that doesn't care about things like sets or lighting or sound. But I know the people that care about those things do better. The show looks better. The sounds better. It looks more professional, right? Maybe you get some other opportunities because people see your show and realize that you're no slouch creatively, right? You have good video bumpers, and people know if they're watching my show, I do everything here, you know? I'm editing the music. Sometimes I'm having musician friends lend me the music, but I still have to edit it for length or, you know, do things with it. I'm doing the bumper videos, the intro videos, the outro videos, the graphics for the show, everything. This takes a tremendous amount of time. And, you know, like everyone, I'm human. I would prefer to be compensated for my time. And again, I don't want to sound greedy or, you know, I don't want to sound like I don't have gratitude for the people who are, you know, chipping in a couple of bucks. It's just that the YouTube monetization is where most of the money will be coming, not from PayPal donations or Patreon. PayPal donations and Patreon for most shows is just a little bit of supplement, right? It's not the major of the nut every month of the profit the show makes. And I'm not asking for anything crazy. I just want a level playing field. So if this asshole, Simon Parks, can be YouTube monetized for selling that letter of the alphabet conspiracy fake shit for years and talking about banging aliens, fake stories, why can't I? It makes no sense. It's not fair. I'm not asking for anything crazy here. I just want the universe to be fair. Give me a level playing field with that guy, right? If that guy can get on a stream and just lie his ass off to people, look, I've got, just from today, I had to make phone calls, send emails, get sourcing to prove or disprove what he was saying, right? He doesn't have, it's not like he went on a stream and said, here's the sources that prove that Donald Trump flew to Switzerland on Air Force One. Here's verifiable sources, and you can go after me and prove that what I'm saying is factually accurate. No, he didn't do that. It took somebody like me to fact check him, get real sources within the real United States government to disprove the garbage that he's being paid money from YouTube for spewing. And I can't get any of that money. Why? It makes no sense. And you know what? Somebody said in the live chat, YouTube's not turning it on because they like me ranting. It's good. It's good for the algorithm. And that's another whole thing. You know what I noticed? I'm a computer science guy. And once in a while, you know, I'm cracking back a few beers and I go, you know, I got to figure this algorithm shit out. Like, what does it want? And I'm going to give it to it, right? But here's what I've come to. That algorithm likes anger, ranting, drama, anger. It loves anger. It loves anger. It likes nasty arguments being made against individuals, organizations, or groups. And listen, this is my opinion and speculation, having tried to crack the code of what does the algo want so that I can get larger here. And it's very disappointing, at least for me, to have this sudden realization that what it wants is every negative emotion that I have poured into that stream, right? And sometimes I give it to it. I get pissed off, start yelling and screaming. Those are the streams that people tune into somehow. Those are the videos that get raised up in the search engine somehow. Is this thing like a negative energy vampire and that's what YouTube wants? I don't know. Call it a conspiracy theory, friends, but I believe that from my experience so far, every time that I'm really channeling negative energy into the stream, like yelling and screaming at somebody ripping off people for fake super, whatever, the videos do great. If I'm calm and cool and collected through the whole video, doesn't do that well, right? You only get like 150 views or 200 views, you know? Start yelling and screaming, 800 views, 1,000 views. I don't know. And I could be wrong, or maybe it's just like human nature. It's not the algorithm, it's human nature. Like, well, let's see what this lunatic's screaming about and yelling about today. It's because it's funny to watch him pop off and start getting pissed and yelling at people, right? I don't know what it is that they want. Yeah. So I'll dedicate some time here to live chat, but then I'm going to get the hell out of here and get my drink on. I'm going to have stress, Steven. Calm down. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. Maybe donate some plasma or sell a kidney for $50K. Yeah. These, you know, it's so funny. I got blurry. I have a friend who needed a kidney transplant, and I felt real guilty because I didn't go and get tested, but I'm pretty sure my kidney and my livers are of no use to anybody. My liver especially. Yeah, Steph, have you considered other platforms? Hi, Steph. It's good to see you back. I'm glad. I'm always glad when I see a new member of the live chat and they come back for another show. I'm like, yes, they're back. I'm not such a loser. Thank you, Steph, for being here. And yes, I have. In fact, we started a Rumble channel. But here's the thing. The Rumble channel, look, it takes time. I have to download the videos when I'm done with the stream and then upload them to Rumble, which takes a while. And Rumble takes a long, I don't know why, but Rumble will take 3 hours to process a 2-hour video. So I'm waiting 3 hours, right? And then I would post the Rumble link on Twitter. It got the last 3 videos I uploaded to an alternate platform, which is Rumble. Maybe Rumble's not the right place for us, but still, got 0 views. So all the time to download it, upload it, wait for the processing, write in the titles and all that stuff, and the tags, 0 views the last 3. And we are on Twitch, and I'm going to check in with the Twitch right now, just so that I can tell you that alternative platforms are really not where it's at. All the viewers are still on YouTube. And yeah. Okay, so we also have a Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Truthseekers Show. If you're not already, please do go there and subscribe. I am going to go to my channel here. I have to put it in the YouTube live chat. I'm going to put the Twitch address right in the live chat. If you're not already, please do go over there right now and subscribe, because I believe we're 7 subscribers away from being able to accept money or tips or something. I don't know how Twitch works. On Twitch, we have 43 followers. But a note again, Steph, about alternative platforms, right? So we have 42 people on YouTube watching, and we have 2 people on Twitch. So, you know, and hello to Trans Carrie, who is over in the over in the Twitch chat, first in the Twitch chat. The only person that commented on the Twitch chat. So I'm open to trying other platforms, but it just seems to me that like the numbers are terrible everywhere else. And F Graph to Chaos is over in the Twitch chat. Shout out to you. Hit that follower button. Follow me, please, on Twitch. Now there's 3 people watching on Twitch. So, but my point is, I haven't tried Periscope or DLive because I got to figure out this RMP thing. That's another thing. I'm my own tech guy, so I have to figure out all of the tech stuff to be able to go to DLive and Periscope. And I think Periscope's going to be on Twitter soon, right? Or is that DLive? I get them confused. Yeah, Trans Carrie says it's spooky, duh. Yeah, I figured Trans Carrie is got to be, you know, how many Trans Carries are there? So yeah, I got that, okay? It says share the algorithm love. Killboy, do OnlyFans, easy money. Yeah, the only way OnlyFans would work for me is people want to sign up for OnlyFans for me, but only if I leave my clothing on, right? And yo, I gotta tell you that if I really knew I could make a couple $100 a month on OnlyFans, I would. But I got a COVID beer gut right now, and I don't think anybody would pay good cash money for naked pictures of me. In fact, I think people would pay me to keep my clothes on, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Luke Dancy says Periscope is officially gone and join the rant. So now that's just Twitch or Twitter. Then it just broadcasts straight to your Twitter. I think so. I mean, some nasty bitches get lots of money. Yeah, you know what? Listen, I had a roommate, and this is going to sound terrible, but it's true. I had a roommate that was a big fat guy, right? His name was Big Ted. And every once in a while, I still think about Big Ted. We had so many adventures being roommates together. And it was weird because we worked together and then we were roommates. So I spent way too much time with this guy. Luckily, we worked in different areas of this company. But Big Ted loved big girl porn. Right? And I used to be like, Ted, bro, you could watch the hottest chicks on earth get banged. Why are you watching these big fat girls? And he's like, because that's who I fuck. So Big Ted liked porn of fat girls. He liked fat girl porn. And I don't mean just videos. Like, he would get fat girl porn magazines. And it would be like huge big fat chicks getting banged by little dudes. Oh my God, Periscope. Like 5 years ago, it was crazy with the amount of people on there too. Also, I found out from people posting on Reddit of your YouTube channel. Hey, thanks to Spooky, because Spooky is the one who was posting it. And I gotta find some money for Spooky because she's doing some graphics and also occasionally helps us by posting videos to like Reddit and things like that. And it really does help. I can't tell you how many people came to me, Steph, and said, I found you from Reddit. And I didn't do that. Spooky did, so thank you. There you go. Steph came from Reddit. Okay. All right, so we'll give a little Jolly Bridgeburner, fat girl porn. That's nasty. I agree with you, but some people like it. I mean, there's a whole genre of that, right? There's also midget porn. I can't imagine why people would want to watch midget porn, but, you know, here we are. And there's worse porn than that, you know. There's all different subgenres. I'm pretty, I don't know. I guess I'm pretty boring in my porn choices, right? You know. You start realizing, though, that you might have a problem that you're watching too much porn when you start recognizing the names and the girls. You go like, oh yeah, I've seen her work before. That's not good. That means you're spending a little too much time cranking one out, right? Talk about, oh, sorry, wrong one. Somebody said, talk about fake alien stories and you'll get lots of money. Yeah, I got to start making shit up. That's what I got to do. I start making up alien encounters, right? That's what I'm going to do. Going to make up alien encounters. Yeah, I guess the point of my whole rant here is that I really just want YouTube to turn on the stupid super chats. I'll be fine. I don't want the YouTube ad pennies. But at least give me a level playing field here. I don't think it's fair. Like, you got guys like David Wilcock that can literally lie through their fake fucking teeth for 4 hours on YouTube and make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in super chat donations. I'm here trying to tell people the truth and investigate some of these stories, right? And give people the closest to the truth that I can. Like, if I can't get to the real and actual truth, I tell people that. If I can bust a story as being fake, we tell people that. If I think a story is really true, we tell people that, right? And I can't get super chat donations, but David Wilcock lying through his fake fucking teeth, he's allowed to have super chat donations. Simon Parks lying through his fake sweep over hair, like he's lying. He can have super chats and YouTube ad revenue, right? It really is starting to bother me because I'm not asking for more than that. You know, I'm not trying to take the moral high ground here and say they're lying to people. We're telling people the truth, so they shouldn't be allowed to accept money. Only people like me telling the truth should. No, just give us a level playing field, right? Level out the playing field. If they can take money for lying to people, I should be able to take money for telling people the truth and really doing actual, real investigative work, fact checking, right? Making phone calls. You know how funny it is that I have to call, try to get a hold of an email, try to get a hold of Donald Trump's publicist to find out if he had been to Switzerland recently, just so I could prove this clown wrong. But I did it! Right? And I can't have I'm not allowed to have any money, right? But the guy telling the lies, not the guy revealing the lies, is allowed to make money. So the guy lying is allowed to make money, but the guy revealing that these guys are lying while they're taking money, no money, no honey for you, right? Islander asks, what's your favorite beer? I don't know. Lately, I've been drinking Miller Lite because I'm starting to get fat from this pandemic. And my wife is an amazing cook. And I guess COVID changed a lot of things, Islander. And one of the things that COVID changed is that my wife used to go to work every day, but she's working from home now. And when my wife went to work every day, I made dinner like Monday through Friday. And she would just make dinner. Like Saturday, we'd usually get a pizza or takeout or something. And then Sunday, she would make a nice big Sunday dinner. But since she's home and I'm a lazy slob, she's been making dinner, and she cooks so much better than me that's another reason I'm putting on weight. So I've been drinking Miller Lite. Do I like it? No. I don't like any light beer. I'd say my favorite light beer is Yinling Lager. And if you're not from Pennsylvania or the East Coast in the United States, you've probably never heard of it. But it's a lager, and it's sort of brown. It's not a dark beer, but it's got some color, and it's delicious. I love Yinling Lager. I've also been drinking an IPA recently in the form of Lion's Head. Or is it Wolf's Head? I always forget. Let me check. No, it is Lion's Head. Yeah, I like this thing called Lion's Head IPA. It's a really flavorful, it's got that citrus, but it's thick, and it's, I don't know, 7 or 8% alcohol. So you don't need but a few of those. No, but honestly, I agree. I also have a YouTube channel not under this name and put so much work in and barely at 100 followers. Well, here I've been there, and I tell you, it was a lot harder. My previous YouTube channel only had something like, I think at the height only had 2,000 subscribers, and then somehow they kicked that down to 1,200. But that channel still got something like 1 million views in its lifetime before I retired it and started this channel. And getting 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers was easy back then, not so much now. I want to remind everybody, if you haven't already, please do like, comment, and subscribe on the video. That also helps us tremendously. It helps rise us in the search engine and all of that stuff. And Steph, if you'd like me to shout out your YouTube channel or try to get you a bump so that you can get some subscribers, just email me at truthseekershow@gmail.com if you're comfortable, if that's something that you would like. And we can shout out your channel here or put it in the live chat and tell everybody here to subscribe. And, our channel's not huge. I think at last count we have something like 1,300 or just under 1,300 subscribers. But I'd be happy to try to give you a bump because I know how hard it is. I'm trying to give everybody a bump. Yeah, everybody go and subscribe to Spooky's channel and subscribe to... who's that slacker? The musician, the slacker, the guy that's supposed to finish... Oh, Pragmagic, Keats, yeah. No, I knew who he was. He's the slacker. Subscribe to Pragmagic, that would be good, and or anybody else. Also, Paranormal Hood, Jiggy started his own channel. It's Paranormal Hood Jiggy, where they do these big panel shows, which have kind of ruined my panel shows. Thank Jiggy, because now everybody's like, man, I just spent 4 hours on Jiggy's panel show. I don't want to do your 4-hour panel show. But it's all good. I don't want to do 4-hour panel shows myself. So, All Around Arbiter says, I'm for Stout. Steph says, of course. Yeah, and I always like to check out new channels. So send me your channel address. I'm always looking for new stuff on YouTube. And I'm really kind of bored of what I've been listening to lately. And I'm having, I don't have a hard time when I'm in front of a PC. But I have YouTube on my living room TV now. But it's Amazon Fire. So it's like, it's really hard to search through anything in that thing. But if I know a channel, then I can go there and, yeah. Drone Free Zone says, I don't consume alcohol or do any drugs. Good for you. Is that a health choice or just a life choice or like why? I'm always curious when people are like, no man, no bro, I'm straight edge. My best friend growing up was completely and totally straight edge. But it's okay because we were both rock band guys, and anytime anybody handed him liquor or drinks or drugs, I took it. So I got double dosed. It worked out. He didn't want to do any drugs because growing up his father was an alcoholic. And, I guess that really turned him against it. He was like, I will never do any of that. All Around Arbiter says, I only drink on Wednesday and Saturday. I only drink on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. All Around Arbiter. So I'm doing pretty good. Oh, are you kidding me? Listen, Steph, you have no idea. Well, if you're up for it, I'm down to do a show with you. I'm in the realm of spiritual insights, tarot, conspiracies, health, etc. I'm not doing anything tomorrow night, so email me. And if you could do 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night, I would love to have you. I just sent out emails, Steph, to something like 8 different girls that do tarot. That's so weird. Talk about it. See, it's a synchronicity. I just emailed 8 different people. And I have this, I don't know if you know the channel Beyond Mystic, but Beyond Mystic has all the psychic girls. And I keep joking that he has the monopoly on all the psychic girls. None of the psychic girls will come on my show because they know that I busted a few fake psychics. But I'm going to be polite and have an open mind and, not be nasty, of course. And I believe in tarot. And I may believe in psychic ability. The psychics that I find tend to be grifters and con artists. So email me and I'll get with you off air to figure out how we're going to do that. But if you're down to do it, hell yeah. And the audience here is used to a few other shows where some of the show hosts either have tarot card readers on the show as guests frequently or do tarot card readings themselves. I was just saying also that I used to do tarot cards and I want to do tarot cards here, but I want to practice for a while first and not embarrass myself on a live stream. But in the meantime, I thought I could get some other people to come in here and do tarot card readings, and the audience here would really like tarot card readings. Steph says she's legit. Good, I'm glad to hear that. Lee Veltman is laughing. All Around Arbiter. I like stout beer. I like that Irish bog water. Nah, I'm not a fan of stout. I'm okay with pilsners. Mostly I prefer lagers. That's just been my thing. F-Craft says, I have a few decks. I found a box in my garage of, I think it's something like 28 different tarot decks. For a while I collected them, It's like art. Every deck is different, and then you find a deck that you're comfortable with and use it for a while, but then I would get bored with the deck that I had and buy a different one and try that one, right? All Around Arbiter. Practically a vegetarian, though I do eat fish. I never understood that. What's the difference? It's animal protein is animal protein. Is it just because fish aren't cute? Oh, those poor chickens and those poor cows. Why would people want to kill them and eat them? But fuck those fish, I'll eat them, right? I eat a lot of fish all around Arbiter. Or actually, not so much. I haven't lately. I got to get on my wife. My wife does not eat fish, but me and I think the boys like fish. Still trying to figure that out if the boys like fish. But the last few times I gave them fish to try, they would eat some. Try to give my older son shrimp though, and he just smelled it and handed it back to me. He's autistic, and for those that don't know, some autistic children, I don't know if it's all autistic children, but he's got to smell everything before he eats it. Like he will, whatever you give him. You can give him an orange, and he sniffs the orange, a peeled orange. He'll sniff it first, and I guess if it smells okay to him, he eats it. I don't know. But he smelled the shrimp and just went, no, and handed it back to me, right? Yes, that seems like a smart cookie. Yeah, I'm glad. That's awesome. See, this is how we need to get more guests here. Because I am not that entertaining. Oh, Killboy, be nice. But it says, Steph is hot. Yeah. And I almost slipped and said, Jean-Claude has all the hot psychic chicks, right? This is the joke. Steph, that this guy on another show, he's got a monopoly on all the hot psychic chicks, and we want some hot psychic chicks of our own. Damn it. All right, I'm going to give it to you again. It's truthseekershow@gmail.com. Yeah, I'm married too, so, and, I'm sorry if somebody commenting on your avatar and appearance is offensive. We live in a world where everybody's offended. Me, if somebody says I'm hot, I'm like, yeah, I am, That's a compliment. Holly is here. I got another one of those emails, Holly. Oh, let's do this. We're going to share this. And this was not planned. All right. Holly, I'm going to share because, people send me nasty emails about people they don't like and want me to look into people, right? Here's the email I got. Beware of Holly Baglio. She is violent. She used to slander and beat on her ex. She actually gaslit her last partner, Julio, and attacked him and then defended himself. She was injured and blamed it all on him. It was her being a gaslighter. She always plays the victim. She threatens to kill people. She threatened to kill Sarah R. Adams. It is on audio. Many people have heard it. She will act like your best friend and glom onto you and defame, slander you all over the internet when her mood disorder acts up. She has hurt countless people who do not want, and we do not want her to hurt you. You seem like a nice person. This is just playing up to my ego. She has thousands of people she has hurt in her wake. She is a sociopathic narcissist. She's borderline personality disorder. She will idolize and demonize people so fast it will make your head spin. She claims to have MPD, DID. She claims to have survived MK Ultra and SRA. She has not. She is just a pathological liar with a serious number of personality disorders. Seriously research her story. Talk to people she has burned. None of her family talks to her. She is estranged. She stole her super soldier testimony from Sarah R. Adams, Max, and countless others. She truly needs mental health help as she hurts real true survivors of abuse, and she claims to be the final authority over whether someone is saved by Jesus or not, which is messed up. She is a toxic person and drug addict and alcoholic. And it's always interesting to me that these emails come to me from anonymous people. Like, they won't give me their real name when they're saying stuff like that. And, so it is what it is. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Anybody that has an interesting story to tell she says that person they're talking to pled guilty to aggravated assault in October 2020. Yeah. It is what it is. But I just want to be honest with you, Holly, because I'd like you to come on the show and tell your whole story, the super soldier story, and all that. And I'm always honest with my audience, and I'm always especially honest with my guests. And if one of my guests or potential guests has a hater that's sending me these nasty emails, then I give them to the guest, and I say, I don't know who this person is. They didn't give a real name, but I want you to be aware that this is what people are saying about you. Not that I believe it or give very much credence to it, but it is what it is. This is what people are sending me, And so maybe I should have sent that to you privately and not on air, but I hope you don't mind. And Holly says, blessings, everyone, right? Lee Veltman says this Andy Devine and APD crazy is still bothering you. Yeah, maybe. All around arbiter. Hypertension comes with pork. Dude, if that were true, I would be hypertensive as hell. Do you know how much bacon I eat, bro? And it's so funny, all around arbiter. I have a 4-year-old who decided that his favorite food is bacon. So every time there's bacon, me and him have to have this competition. And I'm like, look, dude, I made a pound of bacon. I get half, right? I get a little more than half. I'm bigger than you. You know, more for me, less for you. And somehow he manages to get, you know, at least equal shares. I'm proud of him. He tells his mom, Daddy's eating all the bacon, Mommy. Killboy 2100 is a 400-pound gorilla. Yeah, that's all I'm asking you. Come and tell your story. I would like to hear it. And you know, I was going to have you tell me the story off air, but then why bother? We need guests here, so come on and tell your story and let the haters hate. It's all good. Okay, I don't mind. Good. Yeah, Steph, that sounds good. And listen, don't disappoint these people here. There's people in the live chat that are like, oh, you're finally going to have a good guest. Yeah, email me and give me your contact information, and I will get with you off air, and we will arrange it. Yeah. Sarah Adams, her witches, and her pagan groupies say that me and my ministries are plotting murder against them. The cops would like to test the authenticity of such. Oh, and by the way, I had somebody contact me today who sent me some pictures of Sarah R. Adams in her house. And this person claims that Sarah R. Adams and Sacha Stone are lying to everyone. And when they did that interview together, they were in the same house. That in fact, Sarah R. Adams, Sacha Stone, and a couple of other New Age nutters are all renting a house together in Colorado. And when they were pretending that apparently Sacha Stone and Sarah R. Adams were pretending to interview each other like across the world, but they were each in a separate room of this house that they're renting together. I don't know if that's true. I'm going to look into it. I think the evidence that they sent me is not enough to be proof. You know, it's a lot of speculation, but it is what it is. Yeah, Holly, she says she has recordings of such. It's probably Sarah Adams sending those emails. They sound worded a lot like the emails that I used to get from her when she was actually emailing me with her name. She was always telling me, she sent me nasty emails about, was it Kevin Baker? Somebody. She sent me nasty emails about another of her detractors, right? And but with her real name, and they sound really similar. Oh, they're gang stalker, they're gaslighting. She loves the word gaslighting and loves the word gang stalking, right? Yeah, she did the same thing to me. See? Spooky, I can be a guest to talk about my secret supplement program. Buy my course. You wouldn't be the first people to sell people just vitamins, right? Who was that guy? There was a guy in the late 80s, early 90s, and he was a scammer, but he was an infomercial guy, and he had something called the world's greatest vitamin. And he would sell it, and it would be big bucks. It would be like $75 for a 30-day supply of this world's greatest vitamin, and then it turned out that it was just like any multivitamin that you would buy in the store for $5. No, I understand, but you don't need to. You don't need to give me anything. But yeah, that's appreciated, just so that we could dispel if people are talking smack, right? We could prove that they're talking smack. That would be helpful, right? Yeah, so I guess, folks, we're rapidly coming up on the 2 hour mark. So I'm going to jump off here and get my drink on. I got all this stupid shit that I got to do. And, right or wrong, here's what I do sometimes. I go, I got to do that. I really don't want to do that. All right, I'll drink some beers and I'll get it over with and get it done. Right? Yeah. Yeah, Drax is coming back sometime soon. And I thought about doing a special where I could do all the masks, but I'd like to get one more in the can first of a new character. And then I'm going to try playing all 4 of the characters on one stream. And I figured out how to do this. It's going to appear to be 4 characters on the same stream. Yeah. Yeah. But it is what it is. We'll be having, I'm trying to get Melissa from the Deprogram podcast because I have been up to my eyeballs in the Raelians. For those that don't know, there's even a documentary. I'm going to look it up. It's called The Prophet and the Space Aliens. And it's from Vice News, and it's a whole documentary on the Raelians. And I gotta tell you, it is really a good, well-made documentary. For those that aren't aware, the Raelians are a UFO-based cult started by a gentleman who now calls himself Rael, who in 1973 claims that he talked to an alien who called himself Elohim, and told him all about how humans were genetically created and that the aliens, created us. And then I believe it was in 2003, his organization got huge media attention for claiming that they cloned a human baby. They never provided the proof that they cloned a human baby. But the general gist of that religion is free love, lots of sex, and the documentary is amazing. Apparently, in the Raelian religion, you wear bands, and different color bands mean different things. Like, I'm heterosexual, I'm homosexual, I prefer one partner, or I prefer many partners. So you don't have to do any guesswork. You go to a Raelian event if you're Raelian, and you can just look at everybody's wristband and see who's down to fuck, basically. And they're real free love. But I love the defense of, like, somebody asked one of his top aides a question about, like, well, why all the sex and why does your leader have all this sex? And she was great in her defense. She was like, he's a consenting adult. If other women who come to him with love are consenting adults and they want to engage in sex, what's the problem? And I thought that was a great answer. So what if he's banging all these chicks, right? He's a space prophet. But again, it's called The Prophet and the Space Aliens. And I like this so much that we may even do a watch party, right? I thought it was a great documentary. You guys should check it out. And we're going to try to have Melissa from the Deprogrammed podcast. Her podcast deals specifically with cults. And I know she knows a lot more about the Raelian cult than me, so I wanted to have her on just to pick her brain, having seen this documentary. And I'm also sort of digesting all of the Raelian material. I got the books, bro, where he talks about having dinner with Jesus and Buddha. It's it's just comedy gold, right? Yeah. So we're going to do a show on the Raelians coming up. We've got a panel show this weekend, hopefully, and we'll see. We'll see where the future takes us here. But for now, I'm going to bounce out of here. I want to thank each and every one of you for being in the audience tonight. It was good to have you. I'm always happy when there's an audience, right? I swear I have nightmares that I'm going to do a stream and I'm going to look up and see 0 viewers, right? God knows I had some rock shows like that. Like, all right, we're playing for the bartender tonight. Those days are, I never want to go back to those days. Okay, and Steph says she just sent me an email just to let you guys know when you go visit my channel, there will not be a whole lot of videos because I am revamping my YouTube. Well, if it's okay with you, we'll share it tomorrow. If you're really down to do this, remember, I'm saying 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Steph, you don't need anything other than a webcam and a microphone. Headphones help. Because we use StreamYard here. So I just send you a link, and you click on the link from any browser, either a phone, really a PC or a laptop works best though, and a webcam. And you click allow microphone and webcam access, and then you're pulled into my green room here, and I can bring you right into the stream with me. You really don't need much. You don't need Zoom, you don't need Skype. It's much easier than those things. So I appreciate you emailing me, and I would love to have you. She says, yes, of course. Yeah, crack out those tarot cards. We're going to have a tarot card readings tomorrow night. You heard it here first. So, friends, I am going to bounce out of here. I do want to remind everybody to please like, comment, and subscribe, and send our channel address to some friends. And also, we could use your financial support to continue the show, especially until we get those damn Super Chat donations on. So please consider a PayPal donation or becoming a Patreon supporter if you want to see our show continue. There's links in the About section of our channel. And actually, you know what? I am going to, let me check this out. All right, so we have not had, oh, wait a minute, we do. All right, I want to thank Ken and Captain Chaos, who both became recent Patreon supporters at $5 per month. Our Patreon is only $1 a month, so I'm always impressed when people give $5 or $10 or more than $1. To get the Patreon benefits, you only need to put in $1. But you can set any monthly amount that you want. And the other way to help us out here with a few bucks is, of course, to send us a PayPal donation. And here's what you do. For a PayPal donation, you send a PayPal to truthseekershow@gmail.com. Make sure, please, that you include a chat room user ID in the note line and any message that you would like for me to shout out. And we do that. What we do is, if you give a PayPal donation while we're on air, and you know, I gotta get a bumper for the PayPal donations. Maybe that'll make it easier. I always feel like I'm like a beggar on the corner. Like, hey brother, could you spare $1 every time I gotta do the spiel? So I've been thinking I should just do a bumper, and then I don't have to do the spiel every time, right? But then I thought maybe that would be impersonal and people wouldn't. I don't know. I'm still gonna do the bumper. 1 second, friends. I'm just going to check in with the PayPal, see if we had any recent PayPal donations to shout out. Okay, so yeah. The last couple of donations was February 27th from BG's, a kind and generous $10 donation, and a kind and generous donation from Jonaside on March 4th of $5. And also from Pigsy2400 from the UK, kind and generous donation on February 26th of $15, I believe. And Pigsy2400 from the UK says, keep up the good work, Steve. There are so many of us in the land of ufology that appreciate your work digging through the bullshit and, of course, your humor, because you are proper, funny. Best regards, Pigsy2400. So those are the last few. And somebody on February 26th with a kind donation of $10 with the initials KI. They did not give their chat room user ID. So if you do give a PayPal donation, please do give us your chat room user ID. You probably don't want me shouting out your real name, right? Yeah, do not feel like that. Give out your PayPal link. Yeah, I do. My PayPal link is very simple. It's my email address. And anybody, you can use the donate button from our About section, or you can just go to PayPal yourself and click Send Money and then email the PayPal money to truthseekershow@gmail.com. Yeah, and I realize it's a really tough time, so if you don't have a few bucks to help us out, there are other ways to help us. Like, share, comment, and subscribe on these videos. Send these videos to some friends. Post these videos on Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media. Post some links on Reddit for us. That would be extremely helpful. If you find a relevant Reddit thread that one of the shows that we did is relevant to, post the show link to Reddit. That really does help. And thanks to Spooky, we got Steph came to us through Spooky posting on Reddit. I think that was over Roswell, because there's a Reddit Roswell, right? Or Roswell Reddit? I don't know. Well, anyway, Spooky posted some of our links there, and we got a bunch of help. All right, 1 second. I'm going to get it for you. I'm going to put the PayPal donate button right in the YouTube chat, but please bear with me because it makes me do it in the YouTube chat. I cannot do it. All right, here we go. Ugh. How did I get into that? I zigged when I should have zagged. All right, here we go. I'm going to put the YouTube, the PayPal donate button right in the... Oh, let's try this again. That didn't work. They got this big, long... Hold on. Let me try. It's simple. It's supposed to be simple. There we go. All right. Just bear with me one moment, friends. I'm putting the PayPal donate button. Every time somebody asks me to put that in the live chat, usually we get a couple of bucks. So I'm more than willing to do that. There is the PayPal donate button. It's right in the live chat right now. Now I feel like I'm going to stick around for a little bit just in case we get any of the donators so I can shout you out. And F-Graph says, so many passwords, so little time. I got to tell you, I just put a new workstation together yesterday, and I had a hell of a time trying to remember everything. I had to go look it up on the other computer, right? Thank God for saved passwords. And I've only got I've got a bunch that I commonly use, but it just doesn't, I couldn't think of some of them. You're going to send me Dogecoin. I don't have a Dogecoin wallet, though, Killboy, so that's problematic. I would prefer a PayPal money, okay? I appreciate the Dogecoin. Yeah, the context says good night. Yeah, we're winding down here, Daniel. Daniel, why don't you put your link to your new project in the live chat? Daniel's got a new forum, which I checked out. It looks great. And there's lots of information there, especially for people who know that half of these stories about aliens from conspiracy land are all garbage. It's like, it's a great resource, or I think it's going to be, Daniel, right? Like before you check out like a certain speaker, you could just go to your forum and there'll be like an entry about them and how good their information or how bad their information is, right? That kind of thing would have saved me like hundreds of hours of time of listening to people like Clifford Stone or Dan Burrish or even people like Bob Lazar, I guess, right? Or whatever the case may be. But it's great. It's going to be a great resource for people into this stuff and who really want to get to the truth behind it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm checking in with Twitter as well. Seems to be a bunch of stuff going on over there. 1 second, friends. Paul Lavalette cited William Tompkins as a source. That's great. William Tompkins, you know, the guy who like used to sit on the lap of like the hot alien chicks that he was working with. Stoner laugh. Not really. I am completely out of green. I have to go stock up. It is epic when it's working, but it's not a stoner laugh today because I am sadly out of medication. Yeah, and here's the context. Trawl.com. How long did you sit there at GoDaddy trying to get a short URL before you came across trawl, Daniel? I'm curious. Because I had to do that recently for a customer, and it was hell trying to get a short URL. And they didn't even care what it was. They just wanted a short one. Oh no, yeah, you're right. He claimed that they were alien secretaries. Yeah. The government gave him hot alien secretaries that all wore miniskirts. Yes. Well, actually, I didn't look around yet, Steph. I didn't look around yet. There's always something, like I put aside somewhere and I just forgot where I put it. So I'm probably good for tonight, but I'm approaching critical here. And, I don't know. I got to get to the dispensary, right? I definitely got to get to the dispensary. But I'm trying to hold out until Thursday because on Thursday, I'm planning, at least, that I may be at the cabin. It's supposed to be 60 at the cabin, which means most of the snow on the roads that I can't get through to get to the cabin should melt, and I should be able to get through. I haven't been to the cabin in about 5 weeks now. Oh, so my point is there's a dispensary right on the way to the cabin. And I like that one much better than the one near my house, so I'm trying to hold out till Thursday morning. Right? I think I could do it. And, plus, there's got to be something around here that I didn't smoke yet. Every time I think I'm completely out, I just go digging around, right? And I find like, oh, there's still some in this. There's still some in this. And then I make the hodgepodge. Like, is this indica? Is this sativa? Is this hybrid? It's just mixed. It's cannabis. It'll all work, right? Yes, Tompkins' story is insane. He claimed that he was putting aircraft carrier-sized ships up in space in the 1940s. Yeah, and didn't they use, they used submarines at first? Like, they converted some World War II submarines to the first spaceships because they were already airtight and things like that. Like, do you have any idea what a fucking submarine weighs? Do you know what kind of rocket you would need to get? Solar Marshal, do you know what kind of rocket you would need to get a submarine up into space? Like, that would be pretty big. Oh, he used to sell domains. Yeah, I got a bunch of domains that I got to get rid of. I've been paying the $20 a year for a lot of them. And I can't let go of them because I think they're valuable. And then you see even GoDaddy will tell me, like, this domain is likely worth $2,800. Go get me the $2,800. I'll give it up today, right? But I got to do the thing where you got to sell it or put it to auction, and then, I don't know. I'm going to look into that, though, because I sure need money. Oh, I'm going to look. We're sticking around. Wow, look at that. We got 2 kind donations. 1 second now. One of them is Holly Baglio, but I want to make sure on the other one because I don't want to read out. Okay. Ann Chirashi with a kind and generous $20 donation. I really appreciate that very much. And Holly Baglio with a kind and generous $10 donation. I really appreciate that immensely. And Holly says, I wish this was so much more. May Yeshua bless you 1,000-fold for what you have done for me. Thank you. You do not need to mention my name. When I hit the lotto and give you a substantial amount, then you can mention my name. Yeshua blessings. No, we're going to shout out everybody that helps. Every dollar helps. I mentioned I probably have the money in the PayPal and Patreon right now, but I'm going to buy a Blue Yeti microphone just to shut everybody up that complains about the microphone. I said I was going to do it before, but then I found some other microphones that got super highly rated and were half the price, so I thought I'm going to go with that. And interestingly, the one that I bought, I really like for recording vocals for music, so we'll consider it a bonus. Yeah, Holly hooked you up. And so did Ann Chirashi. And I really, really sincerely appreciate that. Every dollar really does help. It changes things here. It really does change things. Yeah, Steph has the Yeti. So tomorrow I'm going to have to turn you down so I sound better, Steph. And once in a while, I can't remember who was it. I had somebody on. Oh, Jason Quit. we had Jason Quid on, and I think it was when I was at the cabin, and I was using a really shitty mic at the time, and Jason had a really expensive, much more so even than a Blue Yeti. I can't remember. Blue Yetis are the worst ducks. Well, you get with me and tell me. But I'm Daniel. I'm tired of getting emails and messages from sound guys that tell me that the microphone that I use isn't good enough, right? Effluent for you. I don't know how Greer escaped can be an enchanter. He paid me off, right? No. He didn't escape me. There's several videos about Stephen Greer and the scams that he has run over the years on our channel here. And when I get to see his stupid latest thing, what is it, Countdown to Disclosure? And he's making it with Third Phase of Moon. So you know how high quality the information they're going to share is going to be, right? Oh, the contact's messing with you. Yeah, don't do that, because I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't buy one. I really, though, Daniel, I want to buy that microphone just so I could say, I'm sorry I don't like the microphone, but millions of people use this one that do streams. So, fuck off, right? But I can't do that with a no-name microphone or, you know. Yeah, Andrew Whitley, see? And it depends on what sound man you ask. Says, I study sound engineering, sounds fine. Yeah, I think broadcast quality is broadcast quality. As long as there's no major hums, hisses, right? And you can hear me speaking, I'm just talking here. It doesn't need to be like a $4,000 microphone. But it is what it is. Yeah, check the previous videos. There's one called Stephen Greer Free Energy, and there's one called More Dirt on Stephen Greer. Yeah. Holly Baglio says, when I come here under a different ID, I see comments that I don't normally see when I'm under my normal ID. It's a conspiracy. It's the trolls hiding from you, right? It's definitely the trolls hiding from you. So, friends, I am going to jump off here. I wanted to stick around because people wanted to throw me a couple dollars, and I wanted to thank them. So, thanks very much to Ann Chirashi and Holly Baglio, tonight's donators, and thanks very much to the recent Patreon people who generously decided to give $5 instead of $1. And for those that don't know, we give a bunch of stuff away on Patreon, and you get stuff early. Like we gave the comic disclosure video early, and the bumpers for the new bumpers for the show, the new intro for the show, everything. The Patreon people just get it early before everybody else. And I also wanted to announce that next month is April, and it's traditionally April is a time of rebirth and renewal. I haven't made a record in a long time, a music album. I made this crazy 7-hour long one, but then I put it on YouTube for free. Not a very smart business move, as I made about nothing. A lot of the people involved with that project and I made a deal, and the advertising money gets split between all these different people, and, you know, I'm getting very little from that. I'm going to make a new album, and I've been inspired by Pragmagic, because if that guy can make money, anybody, no. No, I was, actually. I seen that he put an album behind a paywall for just $5. And I'm going to do something like that, but considering many different factors, I think mine's going to be 20. And what it's going to be is you get the digital album, but then I'm also going to mail you a physical CD. When's the last time that somebody has, you know, some people might not even have a CD player anymore. I'm still going to mail you the physical CD. And I think it's going to be 20. And I'm looking at 10 plus songs, and in fact that's what I'm going to do tonight. I'm doing pre-production on a bunch of different albums, but my point is that starting next month the Patreon people will also be getting demos. So if I get a song and it's a pretty good demo, the Patreon people are going to get to preview it. So for throwing in a couple of bucks, you're supporting my work, and you're also getting a couple of dollars. You're also getting things in advance that other people don't get to listen to, even things that aren't really finished yet. You know, it's a backstage pass. The context says Pragmagic's EP is amazing, love it. Yeah, I'm going to be stealing his music. Here's what I'm doing, Daniel. I'm giving him the $5, and then I'm just going to start playing all his music on my shows, like for bumpers, and I'm not telling him. And if he says anything, I'm going to go, bro, I gave you $5, all right? I own that music. I'm doing whatever I want with it. Because I'm that kind of asshole, Daniel. And I really want to do it just as a goof, to bust his balls. But I did give him a lot of plugs for that. Yeah. Get with Pragmagic. He's got an album for $5. If you could spare $5 to help a brother out, besides me, really help Pragmagic, that would be very, very helpful. Right? So, yeah. Those are plans coming up. So the Patreon people are going to start getting music. And I'm even going to bust my balls. I'm going to bust the balls of a lot of old friends of mine who are always like, hey, Steve, when are you going to make another album? And they've been listening to my music virtually for free for 20 years, right? That almost nobody pays me, right? I mean, back in the day when I sold CDs, physical CDs, I would make some money. But since the internet, nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it's really going to be my first commercial album in forever. And it's probably going to be $20. We'll see. And for that, you get a digital copy and a physical CD. If I can work that out. We're still trying to figure that out. But these are our plans coming up. Tomorrow we're going to have tarot card readings by Steph, which I'm very excited about. And that was sort of, that was a synchronicity, because today I actually spent some time emailing tarot card reading girls, going, please come on my show. And then suddenly one shows up in the live chat and says, sure, I'll do your show. So we're going to have her tomorrow night, 10 p.m., not to be missed, friends. I love a good tarot card reading, and I'm going to be selfish and have her do mine first, maybe. And then people in the live chat can maybe get readings, ask questions, right? That would be fun. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us, especially the kind and generous people who threw me a couple of dollars tonight. Again, tonight that was Holly Baglio and Ann Chirashi, and recently also Jonaside and Bee Gees. Threw in a couple of bucks through the PayPal donate button. And also, thanks very much to the recent Patreon supporters. You really do make the show work. Everything here, I'm happy to say, came from that. It all came from the Patreon money and the PayPal donations. And I mean everything. The backdrop, the headphones, the computer here, the microphones, the webcam. If nothing else, the show is self-supporting. Which really means a lot to me. It means people value my work enough to go, let's make sure that guy has whatever he needs to keep going, right? Again, thank each and every one of you for being here with us. I always love when there's an audience. I'm always happy when there's an audience, and I'm glad that you too could be a part of mine. Until next time, friends, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you.
I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, succubus with goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. I don't want to see him kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, in bed with a goblin. Dump it. Charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop and blood on it, especially up to his ankles. Trump charging into a goblin's nest, some goblin vomit and slop. Goblin vomit and slop. I'm not expecting him to not get dirty slop. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins, succubus with goblins, in bed with a goblin. Kissing goblins, ingratiating goblins. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin, in bed with a goblin. I just want to catch him in bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin, bed with a goblin.
Systems, the company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. Selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. wobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. Your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. My children aren't going hungry. I'll do it. I'll drink your blood. And I'm starting to think about having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up? I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop his ass up, size it up. I'm gonna haul him up back chain. Chop, 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 chop. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I'll barbecue your ass flat. I will cook your ass up so fast, and I'll tell them, oh, I killed a cow out back, baby. You think Christ would eat somebody? He would never do that. I will. I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat your ass. I will eat your leftist ass like corn on the cob. I'm ready. I will eat you. I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first. I swear to God, if it's the last thing I do, I'm going to get my hands around your throat.
ocean, I've cried for you. There's nothing I wouldn't give just to say my last goodbye to you. I laid it all on the table. Now it's all on the floor. It's worth nothing. It's worth nothing to you anymore. I would beg, I would plead, I would crawl on my hands and my knees to try to restore your faith in me. I would crawl on my hands and my knees. I would crawl. Just to be with you. Just to be with you. I'd give up eternity if I could only come home to you. But your garden is empty. All your flowers are dead. I tried to keep it growing, but there's no life there. I would beg, I would plead, I would crawl on my hands and my knees to try to restore your faith in me. I would crawl on my hands and my knees. You know I would beg. You know I would plead. I would crawl through hell on my knees just to be with you. Just to be with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, step right up. It's time for comic disclosure. Two clowns talking an incredible amount of bullshit, and neither of them will ever prove any of this. It's the Comic Disclosures Show, where two clowns talk a whole lot of bullshit and have zero proof for any of this. Hosted by your two favorite cosmic clowns, Davey, Clowncock, and Clowny No Good. Let's get into it, friends.
Well, greetings and salutations, friends. It's time to go down the rabbit hole. And oh, what a crazy rabbit hole it is! Yeah. Filled with lies and deception, half-truths and bullshit. And two greedy clowns who only care about money. See, they want to tell their bullshit stories with no proof. They've got no proof for any of this. But that didn't stop them from collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars for their bullshit stories. All they care about, these greedy clowns, is cash. It's time to go down the rabbit hole, it is. And oh, what a crazy rabbit hole it is. See, these two greedy clowns thought they could tell fake stories for money. And they made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars selling this bullshit. They'll never prove any of this. They got no proof. All they can do is lie, my friends. And they may have been hired by the deep state to muddy the waters into serious research of these topics. That's right, these clowns are hired guns. Welcome to the rabbit hole, friends. Watch.
I'm your host, and I'm here with an insider who claims to have worked in the secret space program. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, one of the things that was very fascinating to me early along was getting access to this insider, Daniel. He called his project Phoenix 3. He claims to have worked at Brookhaven National Labs on Montauk Point, Long Island. Most people call it the Montauk Project. And as I said, it was a seat from a UFO hooked up to a very powerful set of transformers, and the person operating the chair, it would amplify their psychic ability, and they could manifest things in the room or create a portal that would take somebody through space or time. Is that what happens based on your knowledge, or is there something else that happens?
In my personal case, I was involved in what they called the 20 and back program. And it was explained early on that I would serve 20 years and then, as strange as it sounds, be age regressed and brought back to the original point in time that I left and deposited back into my life with the give or take a few minutes of the time I left.
But there's a problem, because you've aged 20 years while you're out there in space.
Right. And what happens is at the end of your 20 years, and in my case it was more like 21, they take you back to the Lunar Operation Command, where you go through a massive debriefing, sign more papers, and then they take you and put you in a table and they sedate you. And basically paralyze your body to where you cannot move. You have to be completely still throughout the process. And they put up these thin, almost like cardboard boards. You're strapped to like this kind of like a foam support, and then they put these like similar and look like weight, the way they were handling them, to like cardboard like boards around the shape of your body. And the process took about 2 weeks. And in this time period, they somehow technologically regressed your body back to 20 years to the time of when you joined. And during this time, some people had gotten tattoos, scars, injuries that would disappear, and
Really?
you would be regressed back. People that have been put through this, when they've been back in, after they've been deposited back into their previous life, or this life that we know here, and they're undergoing hypnosis or memory regression, they'll have scars appear on their body during the process that will appear and then go away. Or tattoos, outlines of red scar tattoos that will appear for a short period of time and then go away. And it's some sort of cellular memory that's happening.
You didn't know this when you came forward, but many years ago, all the way back around 2000, I had read a really weird book online called The Mars Records. And it was a guy, and at the time there was no other data I had to correlate with this, but it didn't sound like he was lying. Just intuitively, it didn't feel like it was wrong. He was describing being in exactly what you're talking about now, the secret space program. He only got very slight memories of being around Mars, having some kind of psychic killing that he could do, a psychic termination technique involving telekinesis that he was very good at. He would fry people's synapses. And he reported that at the end of the assignment that he had in the 1970s, that he went through a 20-year age regression. That they brought him back to the time that he left. He'd worked for 20 years, and they age regressed him. This is exactly what you said. Were you familiar with people getting some kind of psychic training that could allow them to fry people's synapses?
Absolutely. And there are stations that they sit or stand at that enhance their abilities. And this is one of the weapon systems. And those that are trained in remote viewing and remote influencing, I mentioned it's like an anode cathode. One is made out of copper, one is made out of like a stainless steel or another metal. They place their hands on it, and then they focus their minds on a target, and they are able to kill the targets in several different ways, and multiple targets as well. And just like people that use fly drones and kill people now, a lot of these people are lied to about the targets that they're taking out. But yes, that is a very real but hard to believe technology and weapon system.
Well, you heard it right here. That's all the time we have for this episode. There's a lot more where this came from coming up next time, because you need to know, and we thank you for watching.